Happy May the 4th be with you day and Free Comic Book Day Eve and Cinco de Mayo Eve. It is May 4th, 2018, and it is the strangest day in history because it's a big geek time because tomorrow's Free Comic Book Day because I'm doing this live on Friday night. Today was May the 4th, which is a Star Wars day. May the 4th be with you. I'm wearing my Star Wars Rebel shirt. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about comics. This is the Comic Call, and I'm your host, Dylan Lang. This is this week's The Comic Call. Very light this week because there are 5 Wednesdays this week, and so there's going to be a lot of stuff getting spread out over the 5 weeks. Before we get into that, the biggest news is tomorrow is Free Comic Book Day. It is Free Comic. This is like the comic book geeks world's Christmas and Halloween and Thanksgiving and all the holidays put together in this one day. It is finally here. It is tomorrow, May 5th. Now, if you're watching this on May 5th, go out to your local comic book store. Go get some comics before you go party for Cinco de Mayo. Go. No, just go for once. Just you know what? Just say, you know what? Hell with it. Let me go to the local comic book store. Let me get my free comic books and let's see what else they got around there. I liked Avengers Infinity War, so they might have some Avengers stuff in there. Absolutely. Your store also might be having some sort of sale. My store is selling 50% off a trade paperback. So if you want to get caught up real quick on comic books, or you heard good things about certain things, or you need to get caught up or whatever, and they have the trades, you can buy 2 for the price of 1. 2 for the price of 1. So just think about that. You can get 4 for the price of 2. You can get 10 for the price of 5, and so on and so forth. So very good ideas. I will be going tomorrow with my daughter. My son and wife are off camping right now. And so go to your local comic book store tomorrow, May 5th, or today, May 5th, if you're watching. If you're watching this after May 5th, you missed it. If you didn't miss it, good job. Show off your free comic books and read them. It is the biggest day in comic book land. Basically, it is Free Comic Book Day. And for those who don't know, obviously it's in the title, Free Comic Book Day, but about 18 years ago, a comic retailer decided, you know what, we need to get more people into our stores. That was right around the time when the X-Men and Spider-Man were starting this wave of superhero comic book movies had just started their infancy, and it didn't really hit that growth spurt until you hit Iron Man in 2008. But in 1999, you had the X-Men. In 2000, you had Spider-Man. So you had that. So people were like, you know what? And people were flocking to those movies. Like, why don't we have a celebration of comics to get people in the comic book stores to see what the comics are based on? So they created Free Comic Book Day. It wasn't always the first Saturday in May. It was whenever we felt like it. It always seemed to be the first Saturday in May because that's when all the superhero movies were coming out. The only one time that I remember where Free Comic Day was on a different day was on July 3rd when it was paired up with the opening of Spider-Man 2. I remember that because that was the year that we moved into this house in 2004. So, or maybe 2000. Actually, 2000 was the X-Men because 2001 was Spider-Man. But regardless, you know what I'm talking about. So, Free Comic Book Day is tomorrow, first Saturday in May. Tomorrow is the first Saturday in May. If you are watching this on Saturday, it is today. If you watched it after Saturday, sorry, you missed it. Go wait for next year. Or hopefully you went to it. But if you don't know where your local comic book store is, go to the Comic Shop Locator Service. Go to your search engine, type in Comic Shop Locator Service. Boom. It'll take you to, well, you got to click on it, but it'll take you to their website. And on the side, you type in your zip code. Boom. It'll tell you all the comic book stores within a 20-mile radius of your house. Or you can go to www.freecomicbookday.com. I think it's set up a similar way where you type in your zip code and it'll list all the stores that are participating in Free Comic Book Day. Now, real quick, one of the rules about Free Comic Book Day is you do not have to purchase anything to get your free comic. If the store is doing that, leave that store right now. Go find another store. You do not have to pay to get a free comic. It's Free Comic Book Day, not Free Comic Book Day with purchase. No, it is Free Comic Day. You walk in, you walk out with free comic books. Now, every store has their rules. My store says, take as many fucking free comics you want. As many. You can take them from last year, year before. They have a ton of them. They have ones from 2-3 years ago. Take all of them. They just want you to get them out of here. Take them out of the store. Enjoy. Spread the wealth. Take a bunch and take it to local children's hospitals or people less fortunate than you who cannot make it to comic book stores or don't have comic book stores, or mail it to friends or people in the military. Ship it to somebody. But go in and grab as many as you want. That's what my store does. There are some stores that may tell you 1 per customer, 5 per customer. It's up to the individual store. Now, I think that kind of sucks because the whole reason to try to do free comic book day is to get more people involved in comic books and get them to want to buy more comics and sell more comics so that your store thrives. So you tell them, you know what? We've got 50 different free comic books. You can only get 1 though. Make it a good one. I think that's stupid. That's why my store is cool. And your store might do the same thing. If your store does that, take whatever ones you want. They're cool also. And you know what? I don't own the store, so it's their prerogative to say, hey, I'm only going to give 1 or 2. That's fine also. Because here's the rub. It's free comic book day for us, the regular folks, but the store owners actually have to physically buy it. Now, they're only like 25 cents a book, but when they're buying thousands of them, that's a good portion of their budget for this week, or for the month for that matter also. That's going towards free comic books. So you are under no obligation to buy anything, but look around the store. Don't just go in, grab your free comics and leave. Look around the store. Talk to any people who work there. They might even have creators there. My store is going to have like 12 creators there. Talk to some creators. They're going to have their books to sign, and you can get pictures drawn and stuff like that. They'll have all their books set up. Maybe buy them and get them signed. Or if your store's doing a special sale, like I was hoping my store's going to do 50% off of everything, but it's only doing trades, buy some trades. Buy some of the new comics I'm getting ready to show you. Particularly, there's one that I'm going to show you in 1 second. 1 minute and 1 second in my world is 1 minute. That is almost free, hence the name of this episode. And it's well worth it too. You do not have to buy anything. But just remember that they have to put out the money to pay for these books. Now, yes, they're doing it to try to get more people to come to their store, but if you only go to the store once a year for on free comic book day to get your free comic books, okay, that's fine. You're entering the store, but at least take a look around just to see what it looks like. My store, this is going to be their first free comic book day in their new location. Their new location is absolutely stunning. And I'm going to, as long as it's not raining, I'm going to walk up there with my daughter. I'm not going to drive my car. I'm going to walk up with my daughter, and we're going to go pick up the comics because it is about a 5-minute walk from my house. That's how happy I am that it's so much closer. Okay, so enough of that. Tomorrow, or if you're watching it on Saturday, today, free comic book day. First Saturday in May. May 5th, 2018 is free comic book day. Go to the comic book store. Get your free comics. And hey, take a look around. Maybe buy something as well. Again, you don't have to, but you might want to. And hey, maybe there might be an artist or writer there that you're interested in talking to, or maybe you're gonna ask them, hey, can you draw me a picture or whatever? They're probably willing to do it as well. So go, have fun. I highly recommend just go. You don't have to go like the whole day. Your store's gonna probably be open from like 10 to 7 or something like that. My store's open 10 to 7 on Saturday. Yours might be open 10 to 5 or 11 to 6 or whatever. Go sometime in between there, and you're going to be good. So, as I said, you don't have to buy anything, but when you go in there, take a look at the new comics because, as I showed you before, we got some good stuff here. We got some good stuff that you might be interested in, and I'll tell you why. This is the first one that I would recommend you would pick up. This is for a really good book for those people who, this might be your first time in the comic book store or you haven't been in the comic book store in a while. This is a good setup issue to get you into comics for the summer. It is DC Nation number 0. It is 25 cents. Now, this is what I'm talking about, almost free. Even if you go, you get your free comics and you go to your local comic store and you buy a copy of this, hey, I feel that, you paid for one of your free comics, basically, and your store will be happy for it. And who knows? There are 3 stories in this which are all setups for DC's big summer stories. DC's got 3 big storylines. Actually, they have 4, and I'm surprised the 4th one isn't in this one, but I guess they can only do 3. They've got 4 big things happening, but only 3 in this issue. Scott Snyder is going to be recreating the Justice League, and you're going to get the first bit of No Justice story in this. Batman is going to be marrying Catwoman in issue 50, which comes out on July 4th, which is on a Wednesday. This is the setup for that, where the Joker discovers that Batman and Catwoman are getting married. And then Brian Michael Bendis, who has been at Marvel forever, has shifted gears and has gone to DC and is going to be revamping Superman. You can get a beginning look at his Superman in this issue as well, with art by the classic Jose Garcia Lopez, who is one of the greatest comic artists, Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, who's one of the greatest comic artists of our time. So, Batman's story is written by Tom King, who writes the regular Batman saga, and drawn by Clay Mann, who occasionally does some of the art for it. Superman is written by Brian Michael Bendis, with art by Jose Luis Garcia Lopez and Dexter Vines. And the Justice League and the No Justice Prelude is written by Scott Snyder, James Tynion IV, and Joshua Williamson, with Jorge Jimenez artist. Now, the other storyline that I'm surprised they don't have in here is Flash War is going to be coming out this summer also. So you might want to get caught up with your Flash to get involved. That's supposed to be a really good storyline as well. So for 25 cents, you get 3 stories that are going to set up the DC summer stories. This is the Batman one. This is the Brian Michael Bendis Superman one. And this is the No Justice by Jorge Jimenez, with all the different Justice League teams that they're going to be. So well worth picking this up for Free Comic Book Day tomorrow. So go to your comic book store tomorrow, today, whatever, for Free Comic Book Day. When you're at your store for Free Comic Book Day, get your free comics and then pick this up also, because you read it, you might like the stuff that's in here, and you're going to come back and get the issues that these are setting up. Speaking of which, Batman number 46, if you do happen to have a store that is having a good sale, like mine, 50% off of trade paperbacks, pick up all of Tom King's run on Batman. It has been outstanding, and it's been prepping the wedding storyline. This is the newest issue that comes out this week. Tom King, Tony Daniel is doing the artwork. I love Tony Daniel's artwork, and Tom King's been writing a phenomenal story. And he draws himself a gorgeous Catwoman. And Booster Gold's in this as well, so pretty interesting. And I can't forget Sandu Floria does the inks as well. So Batman number 46 is out this week as well. Here's something good too. A lot of casual fans out there know who Harley Quinn is. And while technically this is kind of a wrap up to what happened in Harley's comic, it's still a #1, and it's written by Paul Dini, who created Harley Quinn. It's Harley Loves Joker #1 of a 2-part miniseries. So it's not a big payout. You can pick this up. You can read it. It's written by Harley's creator, Paul Dini, and the artwork is by... they put the way back, don't they? Yeah, art by Brett Blevins. So, gotta love Harley in a nightgown. And you get Harley in her old school uniform. And just very Batman animated series-esque. So, here's another good book to pick up. If you just happen to be wandering around the store and checking the shelves and say, hey, this might pick up. This is $3.99, but it's well worth it. It's a #1. It's only 2 issues. So, if you like that, maybe you can go dig up some of the Harley Quinn trades. Green Lanterns number 46 is out this week as well. New storyline, I think. Written by Tim Seeley. With art by V. Ken Marion and inks by Sandu Floria. So Green Lanterns is a good series again. Again, another one that I would recommend. I like the artwork. I would recommend if you want to get caught up on something, go pick up the trades for Green Lanterns not the Green Lantern Corps, well, you might want to pick that up as well. But Green Lanterns is actually a very underrated comic and well worth you checking out as well. Deathstroke number 31, continuing the Deathstroke versus Batman storyline. It's going to be a 6-issue storyline. It's only going to be in Deathstroke. It's written by Christopher Priest with art by Carlos Paglia, who's been pretty much doing the regular artwork for it, and inks by Viacava. So Deathstroke, written by Christopher Priest, is fantastic. And I'm sorry, Priest story, Carlo Paglione and Roberto Vacara pencils, Larry Hama breakdowns, who's actually, Larry Hama is going to be a collector's corner in Parkville in Maryland. So if you live in the Maryland area, head over there and check that out. And Jason Paz inks. So continuing the Batman versus Deathstroke storyline. The artwork is gorgeous, and Christopher Priest has been doing a really good job of writing the series as well. Here's something else you might be interested in. The Curse of Brimstone number 2. Now, this is issue number 2. Issue number 1 came out about a month ago, and a lot of comic book stores will keep at least 3 to 4 months worth of books up on the shelf. Now, DC just finished their Metal storyline, and out of Metal came a bunch of new superheroes. And you might be able to find a bunch of them. Silencer is my favorite right now. You can probably catch all 4 issues of those if you go to your local comic book store and pick those up. Tony Daniel artwork is on Damage, which is not a great series, but the artwork is very beautiful. And then there have been a few other ones that, to be honest, Sideways is another one I read a little bit of, but I haven't really caught up on. And Immortal Men and The Terrifics. The Unexpected is coming out in June, as is the New Challengers. So should be interesting to see. But this is The Curse of Brimstone number 2. It's written by Justin Jordan and Dan Didio, with artwork by, hold on a second, with artwork by Philip Tan. Actually, Dan Didio doesn't have anything to do with this one, so it's just Justin Jordan and Philip Tan. Okay, so that's good. And it's a brand new character. All these characters basically that have their own series are pretty much new, though some of the members of the Terrifics have been in other books as well. But this is kind of a horror-esque book, so if you're into horror, this might be up your alley as well. So go ahead and check that out. As I said, you're walking around the local comic book store after you've gotten your free comics and you're looking around. You go to the new bookshelf. There's number 2. Go to the old bookshelf. They might have issue 1 still up on the shelf. Pick that up. You've got 2 new issues right there, and you get caught up like that. Another interesting one you might want to pick up is Action Comics 1000, which I showed you a couple weeks ago, is probably still out there. My store still has their whole every cover up front display, everything. It's a good celebration of Superman. It's a good book to pick up if you're brand new on Free Comic Book Day, you're going to the comic book store for the first time in a while and haven't seen anything, and you're looking for something good to pick up. That might be good to pick up, as will this be Action Comics Special number 1. And this is just really just a bunch of different storylines that are all connected in some way or another. It's got a cast of thousands. Let me see if I can. Do they have the cast list of all the creators in here besides on the front? So it's got a bunch of different stories that I don't think you need to have been following the other Superman stuff to know what's going on. Dan Jurgens and Will Conrad did the main story. That's one story. The second story, Mark Russell and Jill Thompson. Third story is Max Landis and Frances Manapul. So there's actually 3 stories in here, and you can pick that up. So Dan Jurgens has been writing Superman forever, and this might be his last story in here. And then Mark Russell, who's been doing a great job with the Flintstones and Snagglepuss, which I'll talk to you about in a second, writing one with some great Jill Thompson artwork. And also we have Frances Manapul and Max Landis. Max Landis wrote the Superman American Son miniseries, which is pretty good. So it's a good series. So you can pick this up also. You get 3 stories in here. Another good one to pick up if you're new to the comic book store. I'm going to pick up some cool stuff. That's it for regular DC proper. DC owns the rights to Hanna-Barbera characters, and they've been doing updates of the characters: Scooby Apocalypse, the Jetsons, the Flintstones. What are the other ones? There have been a whole bunch of other ones. Another one is Snagglepuss Chronicles, and it's written by Mark Russell, who wrote the Flintstones one. The Flintstones comic was one of the most social comics out there, which dealt with social issues using the Flintstones as backdrop, which is really, really clever. This is also dealing with social issues, but of a different type. Snagglepuss, as you remember, exit stage left, is the pink Panther-esque type of character who always seemed to be kind of gay. Well, in this, he is a gay Southern Gothic playwright in the 1950s, accused of being a communist. So you gotta love that right off the bat. So it's written by Mark Russell with art by Mike Feehan, Sean Parsons, and Jose Marzan Jr. It's only 6 issues, so they're wrapping up this series. But if it looks interesting to you, and it is, it's been very, very interesting. It's something completely different. It's exactly what you're not expecting. You might be able to find these other issues up on the wall of old school stuff. And on top of that, they do have a backup written by Brandy Stillwell with art by Gus Vasquez called Sasquatch Detective. It's a Bigfoot who's a detective, female Bigfoot of all things, who's also a detective. So interesting that. So you get 2 stories in that for the price of 1. That's it for DC. Now, the biggest movie of the year, and probably will be, I don't see anything beating this movie this year. And you all probably seen it. If you haven't, you're probably going to see it this weekend. If you're not going to see it this weekend, you might see it next weekend. If you're not going to see it next weekend, you're going to have to wait till August when it comes out on DVD, which is my prediction. I don't know for sure. But the Avengers Infinity War is one of the biggest, is the biggest blockbuster of all time, really. It still hasn't beaten the top stuff yet, but it wrecked the opening weekend gross, and it's going to be the fastest to get $1 billion, and so on and so forth. So the Avengers are very, very hot right now. I think there's an Avengers free comic book, so go to your free comic book day. I'm going to keep pushing this till you go. Go to your local comic book store, go to Free Comic Book Day, and get, I believe there is going to be an Avengers free comic book. If there isn't, and I'm wrong, that's okay, because guess what? Avengers #1 is out this week as well. Brand new cast, using characters, most of which have a movie. Let's see, who has a movie? Thor. Captain Marvel's is coming out in March. Black Panther, which is one of the biggest movies of all time at this point. Captain America. Iron Man. Doctor Strange. Ghost Rider has made an appearance on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and there's She-Hulk, but She-Hulk is cool, and we need to get her on here too, and she hopefully will have her own series as well. But Avengers #1 is out this week. So if you went to see Avengers Infinity War last week, loved it, and want more Avengers, guess what? #1. #1. I usually hate when Marvel does this, but this is actually brilliant because it gets people who are interested in the movies, who saw the movie, and they want to go to the little comic book store. They can pick up the first issue of an Avengers comic and read the characters that they watched the movie about. Now, my store is giving away lithographs. I picked up the one with Captain Marvel and Iron Man because my wife loves Captain Marvel. So I picked that one up for her. But I got that because I purchased this. It's #1. It's a little bit more expensive, but it is thicker. And it's written by Jason Aaron with art by Ed McGuinness. And you get an introduction to the early Avengers from the beginning of time. So you get that in the opening. I'll let you get surprised by that. And you get it's getting the team together, and you're going up against a new bad guy. So what do you got to lose? It's the Avengers. Now, not to be outdone, in 2 weeks' time, there's a little movie coming out called Deadpool 2. Now, everyone's a big fan of Deadpool. A lot of people are fans of Deadpool. I'm not a big fan of the comic character, but Ryan Reynolds' version of that Deadpool is fantastic. I probably won't see it in the movie theater because I don't really have a lot of time to go to the movies, but I will see it when it comes out on Blu-ray, which again should be sometime around August and September. However, again, to get you prepped for the Deadpool movie, there's a million Deadpool comics out there, so you can go into any comic book store and you can find any Deadpool books that you want. Same with Avengers. There's other Avengers books out there now. That's the new #1 that you can pick up right away. We do have a new #1 Deadpool, though, and this one is a unique one because it mixes the old style choose your own adventures with a comic. You Are Daredevil #1. You Are Deadpool #1 is out this week. I think it's a weekly book. Yes, it's a weekly book. I don't know how many issues it is, but it is a choose your own adventure. So you just have to read the prompts. And it'll tell different stories depending on where you go. Excuse me. So you get to be Deadpool. You get to choose what he does in the first issue of this new comic. That's unique and interesting in its own way, and is one of the only reasons why I picked it up. Written by Al Ewing, with art by Salva Espin. So can't go wrong with that. A choose your own adventure Deadpool comic, which is weekly. Why not pick it up just for the heck of it? That's it for Marvel, actually. That's the only 2 Marvels that I got. Now I'm going to keep pushing this too. So Free Comic Book Day is the first Saturday in May. Be it tomorrow, today, yesterday, whatever. If you went to Free Comic Book Day, take a look around the comic book racks. See what's out there, because I've already shown you a bunch of comics that you can pick up tomorrow or today, depending on when you're watching this, and get into comics, which is the whole reason for Free Comic Book Day. The Independents has also gotten into this because Gail Simone, who's one of my favorite writers, has decided she wants to join 2 characters who've never been in a movie, or never been in a comic book before, into a comic before. When you get Red Sonja and Tarzan #1, again, something you can pick up. If you like Red Sonja, if you like Tarzan, you can pick up the first book. It's written by Gail Simone, who is a great writer, by the way, with art by Walter Segovia. So you can't go wrong with that. A Red Sonja crossover with Tarzan. So it's an interesting idea, and I can't wait to see how it works out. And it's a great idea. So you can pick this up also. If you like that, there is a regular Red Sonja comic out also. The newest issue came out this week. It's issue number 15. It's written by Amy Chu and Eric Burnham, with art by Carlos Gomez. Now, I hope that doesn't mean Eric Burnham is going to take over, because I think Amy Chu's doing a great job with the character. But if that's what happens, that's what happens. But Red Sonja is a great character, and you get to see her regular issues as well. Now, and I'm going to keep pushing this again, and I'm glad that the comic book companies are doing it right by getting, if they can get at least some people who've never been in the comic book store before, or have always wanted to go to see what it's like and are going now to see what it's like, they're giving them a chance to try out some stuff. You're going to get the free comics, and you're going to get the free comic of the first couple pages of this story. But if you like it, you may as well pick up the regular issue, because it is out now today. It is a sequel to The Nightmare Before Christmas. It is a manga style. It's called Zero's Journey, issue #1. It is by Tokyo Pop, so it's going to be read like a manga, which in Japan you go from left to right. So, but it's written by DJ Milky, pencils by Kei Ishiyama, inks by David Hutchinson. So it's a sequel to Nightmare Before Christmas that you've never seen. Focuses on Zero. They are going to be doing a free comic book that's going to have the first couple issues of this, but you may as well go out and pick up the regular rest of it as well, because this is out this week as well. Dark Ark number 6 is a great what-if story. If you're Catholic and you've read the Bible, you've heard the story of Noah's Ark, where Noah was told by God to build an ark and to bring 2 of every animal on it. Then he flooded the earth, and they were sailing around the earth for 40 days and 40 nights till they found land again, and then God decreased the water and recreated civilization. What if the devil decided, I hear there's going to be the end of the world coming. Let me build an ark also and put all the evil on it, 2 of every evil on it as well. And you get Dark Ark. It's written by Cullen Bunn with art by Juan Doe. Now, again, this is issue number 6, so you might not be able to just go ahead and pick this one up. But if you go to your local comic book store, on the shelf, they might have a few issues of it up there. I don't know if they'll have all 6 up there, but they might. So Aftershock is doing a great job. When you're there, look around for any of the other Aftershock books, including Animosity is a good favorite one of mine as well. Finally, the last comic that I bought this week, and again, these are just the comics that I buy. There are a bunch of other ones that came out this week that I just didn't buy. So go to your comic book store and just see what I didn't show you, and you might find something that you'd like that I necessarily didn't like. Sex Criminals number 24. I don't think I looked through it earlier. There's no sex and nudity in this one, but it is for mature readers. And the premise itself, where there are certain people out there who, when they climax during sex, can stop time and walk around and do stuff. And that's it. And that's what this basic story is about. Matt Fraction, Chip Zdarsky. A unique storyline. Of course, is on issue 24, so you might have to pick up some of the trades. Be forewarned, it is for mature readers. I wouldn't give this to your kids. The other issues will have nudity and sex in it as well. This one just happens to be an issue that doesn't have it. So that, my friends, is all the books that I got this week. And there's a lot of good stuff. Again, let's go over DC Nation number 0. Pick that up as well. Hardly Loves Joker number 1. Curse of Brimstone number 2, you could probably find number 1 elsewhere. Action Comics Special number 1. Avengers number 1. You Are Deadpool number 1. Red Son Universe Tarzan number 1. Nightmare Before Christmas Zero's Journey number 1. These are all books you can get tomorrow or today or Free Comic Day, whatever Free Comic Book Day time it is. When you go to get your free comics, go pick up some regular comics as well. You can get these and you can start your journey into the world of comics. Free Comic Book Day, first Saturday in May. First Saturday in May is May 5th. That's right. Tomorrow, today, yesterday, whatever. Go to your local comic book store on Saturday. Go get free comics and buy some of the ones I showed you there, or buy statues, trades, toys, whatever your store has. They'll probably have everything. And you might meet some creators as well that might sign books for you. I can't stress this enough. Free Comic Book Day. Go to it. Please. This is one of the main reasons why I'm doing this show, is to get people into comics. So please, go to your local comic book store. Free Comic Book Day, first Saturday in May. May 5th is Free Comic Book Day. It's tomorrow, today, whenever you're watching this. Probably more like today you're going to be watching this, since it's almost 11 o'clock and I haven't posted it yet. So, go to your local comic book store. If you don't know what a real comic book store is, go to Comic Shop Locator Service in your search engine. When the results come up, it's probably going to be the first one on there. You click on that. It takes you to the website. It'll tell you type in your zip code. Type in your zip code. It'll give you all the comic book stores within a 20-mile radius. Also, links to their website so you can see what their hours, directions, if they're being involved in Free Comic Book Day. Or you can go to www.freecomicbookday.com and find out for sure what stores. I think it's set up the same way as the Comic Shop Locator Service. You type in your zip code, it'll tell you what stores in your area are involved in Free Comic Book Day. Please, for the love of God, go to Free Comic Book Day. I cannot stress this enough. I will not be talking about Free Comic Book Day. I'll do it one more time next week when I say, hey, how was your Free Comic Book Day? I hope you got some new comics, and hey, this is what's coming out this week. Please, just go to your local comic book store. Even if it's just for a few minutes, just to get your free comics, just to get your foot in the door, to see what's going on in the world of comic books. Avengers Infinity War is going to be the highest grossing movie of all time very soon, which means a lot of people liked it. If you're one of those people who've never seen where the comics have come from or where the movies have come from, go check out the comics. You've got plenty of opportunities to jump in on a #1 or new story arcs or whatever. Your stores will probably have special events going on. You can get yourselves caught up fairly quickly. And then hopefully we'll get you in for a comic book fan for life. Please, free comic book day, May 5th. Please go. See you next week. Free comic book day is now here.